So guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about dropped elbows, drop swimmers, and you give away precious time to your competitors if you have a dropped elbow. Now we're going to be uncovering this from a very foundational level in this video to set your catch up for success. Now the problem with catching is we are moving into advanced skills. Now advanced skills means we're progressing up the ladder into that level that is very hard to do. Now one of the hardest reasons to do that is often what we don't have. We don't have the catch set up properly. That means we can't actually catch the water right, and that means we just give away that precious time to our competitors, which I know you don't want to do. So there's a couple of ways of explaining the catch. We've got what we call the front crawl. We've got EVF, which is that early vertical forearm, and then we have the high elbow catch. Now I like keeping things as simple as possible, so let's just call it the high elbow catch today. I don't like overcomplicating too much because at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is get you from one end to the other end as fast as possible without breaking down. So a very important fundamental of that is learning to connect with the water. If we can connect with the water better than anyone else, then we can catch the water better than anyone else, then we can drive ourselves forward so we can get to that other end really fast. So I'm going to take you through a couple of really basic steps to help set your catch up for success. One of the biggest misconceptions and the biggest problems we have in catching is what a lot of swimmers do is they pull from the elbow. Now, if you go and put a video of yourself on the side of the pool and have a look at if you're pulling from the elbow or not, what you'll see is the hand will be higher than the elbow. So you'll see this position, okay? Or you'll be pulling your elbow more into your hip. This is what we don't want to do if you want to become a faster swimmer. So the first fundamental principle is you can spend a lot of time trying to move your hand in. You might be swooping out wide, or you might be slipping through your catch. So one of the first fundamental principles is this shoulder needs to be on our face when we're catching the water. So we'll be more so in this positioning. So notice what happens when I separate my shoulder from my face. So the first thing that happens is my hand goes out that way. So that's how we become more of a narrow swimmer, almost like we're on train tracks. First fundamental principle of catching is making sure that that shoulder is on your face, like this. And that's the first thing that's going to create that high elbow position. So number two is a very important principle, and we've simplified this as much as we can. Wherever the fingertips go, the elbows goes. So if your hand goes in freestyle, if your hand goes in butterfly, if your hands come forward in breaststroke, wherever those fingertips go, your elbow's gonna go. So if they're going forwards, look what that does to my elbow. My elbow's already naturally lower than my hand or in line with my hand, which means when I press, I do this action, okay, instead of this action. What that means is when we're swimming, we have to remember wherever the fingertips go, the elbow goes. So if my fingertips go in the water, my elbow goes into that nice high elbow position, then I've got that big lever there to pull myself onto the next stroke. So just follow me on that again. The hand goes in, goes down, fingertips down into that nice high elbow catch position. That's how we create that really nice big lever when we're swimming. So the last principle that we have when we're following this is we want to make sure that the hand in our recovery position enters in before our elbow. A lot of swimmers overreach. And you think about what happens when we overreach. The hand goes down, we've got that drop in the elbow again. The thing that we want to do is making sure that those fingertips entering in before the elbow so they can so gracefully and peacefully go down into that nice setup position. Fingertips angled down. Now I've got this nice big lever. We see coaches talk about getting over the barrel, or you could think about having a nice big hula hoop here. These are the first three fundamentals of catching the water properly. So what I'm going to do now is take you through a couple examples of what this looks like in the pool, and then you guys can go out and get to work. Let's get to it. So guys, we're down here at the pool with one of our secret ingredients. Now Fennis has been very grateful to invent these things which force us into the catch position. So if you want to make this even easier for yourself, then make sure you grab yourself a pair of these paddles whilst doing what we're about to take you through, because what that's going to do is force the pitch of the hand into that nice high elbow catch position. So Josh, when you're an elite swimmer, how often did you use these?
Pretty much every session. So I would use these for easy swimming, for drill swimming. The figure eight paddles was probably my second best friend behind my snorkel. Before I started using these, I had a real funky entry coming in like this and looking really weird. Once I started using these, it was all systems go. And the very first time I used them was probably the most painful thing I've ever done in my life. So if you really want to fix your technique and really want to have some growth, pick up a pair of these.
So what we're going to do is run run you through those 3 principles. So the first one is, Josh, just gonna pop these on so you can get your hands in that right positioning. So let's just show them how to get in these. So we put the hand through. These are not handcuffs. We've had a few people put them on like handcuffs. These are gonna help that pitch of the hand like that. Now what we wanna do is we wanna make sure that body's nice and straight. So you can see that here. We wanna get into that nice high elbow catch position. So if you want, you can just put something here and really force that nice high elbow catch position. So you can see here he's got that slight bend, he's got that nice big open armpit, he's got his shoulder on his face, which is great. And now what we're gonna do is take this into the pool, and I'm gonna show you the difference it makes by following those 3 things we just mentioned before. So the first thing we're gonna do here is what we call kicking in catch position. Now this is gonna force the swimmer, or if you're doing it, to really get into that nice high elbow catch position. Remember, the point of the drill is to isolate the stroke changes, so that makes it so much easier to get into those nice stroking positions when we're swimming. So we'll just follow Josh through to the end so you can get a really good visual of what you need to do. So guys, in this next part of this drill, we're going into normal swimming. Now I've got Josh to over exaggerate this a little bit, and what he's doing here is what we call the overreaching, which is the elbows entering in before the hands. Now this is what we don't want to do in swimming. Now I'm going to show you the difference of what it means when he shortens up his entry a little bit. So guys, on this next one, we've got him shortening his hands up a little bit. So you can see his hands are starting to enter in really nicely before his elbow, which is really setting him up for that catch. So guys, you can see here just by focusing on a couple of those 3 things. Remember, this is the start of your catching phase. Front core, EVF, high elbow catch, whatever you want to call it, this is the start of it. So focus on the 3 things. So number 1, you want to make sure that that shoulder is on your ear. Okay, we're setting up into that nice high elbow catch position. So number 2 is remembering wherever the fingertips go, your elbow's going to go. And number 3, remember, the fingertips should always enter in before the elbows. We do not want overreaching when you're setting up that catch. Follow through this, grab yourself a set of those figure 8 paddles. It will really fast track the whole process for you because it shifts the pitch of the hand, and then go out and follow through that framework. We're really excited to see the results to get you. We'll see you in the next video.